and do the right thing. The election was won, in my view, in the Midlands and the North, and I think it was the old Labour vote that came to us, and we, particularly as a party, campaigned as hard as we could in those areas. There is still a massive disconnect between Westminster, SW1 and real communities, and the one image I will remember throughout the rest of my life was a woman in Bolton grabbing my hand with tears in her eyes saying, why doesn't David Cameron, why doesn't the government come and see what they've done to my community, what they've done to the prospects for my kids? People here don't understand. They're too wealthy. They don't get what open door mass immigration as a result of EU membership has done to people's wages, to people's availability of getting GP appointments or their kids into local schools. This was the issue ultimately that won this election. So I'm thrilled that we've done this. I believe the other big effect of this election is not what's happened in Britain, but what will happen in the rest of Europe. I mean, in the rest of the EU, Eurosceptic parties never talked about leaving the EU, now they are. An opinion poll in the Netherlands said that a majority there now want to leave. So we may well be close, perhaps, to Nexit. And similarly in Denmark, a majority there are in favour of leaving, so we could be quite close to Dexit. And I'm told the same may apply to Sweden and perhaps Austria and perhaps even Italy too. The EU's failing, the EU's dying. I hope we've knocked the first brick out of the wall. I hope this is the first step towards a Europe of sovereign nation states, trading together, neighbours together, friends together, but without flags, anthems or useless old unelected presidents. So what happens now? What happens next? Well, 17 million people have said we must leave the European Union. We now need a Brexit government, a government that gets on with the job, a government that begins the renegotiation of our trade relationship, a government that will be mindful that already many of the German car manufacturing unions have said, let's get on and do a deal. Let's go on buying, selling motor cars and wine and cheese with each other. But a government also that at the same time uses the opportunity of Brexit. And the opportunity is we're now freed to start making our own trade deals and associations with the rest of the world. We've left behind, with this result, we've left behind a failing political union. We've given ourselves the chance to rejoin the world in a 21st century global economy. So we need, as I say, a Brexit government. We need the negotiations to start as soon as humanly possible. We need to start thinking globally about our future. And the other thing I think that needs to happen is that June the 23rd needs to become a national bank holiday, and we will call it Independence Day. Thank you.
Well, a very happy man this morning there, Nigel Farage, painting a very pleasant picture maybe of what's to come. Of course, not everybody thinks that. We've still got our guests on the line, I'm very pleased to say.
Sure. John, I was just talking to you, just to let our viewers know, you were part of the Remain campaign in the lead-up to this. We've got Afshin, our host of Going Underground too, pretty much keeping eyes on the sort of the Leave campaign too. John, just coming back to you, we heard Farage talking there. He believes this could be a big domino effect now in Europe. We have the Netherlands, an opinion poll there says that the majority of people want to leave. Denmark now wants a referendum too. Do you share those fears, or do you see that as a major concern?
Well, let's be clear, Brexit was merely the UK manifestation of a resurgence of the far right that's been taking place all across Europe in the last few years, whether it's in Western Ukraine, whether it's in Hungary, across Scandinavia, France and Germany. Brexit was the UK manifestation of that process. The centrifugal forces at the heart of Europe today are on the far right. They're not on the left, and they're certainly not progressive. And the fact that a man such as Nigel Farage is now being presented in the right-wing press across the UK as a man of the hour tells you all you need to know. This man is more right-wing than Jimmy Johnstone. And Jimmy Johnstone, for your viewers who don't know, is a famous Scottish footballer who played on the right wing. Nigel Farage is a vile human being, and his unveiling of that gratuitously racist poster a week ago should have excluded him from all civilised company in this country. but it's not. He's now been propelled to the heart of the establishment, and what we're looking at is the unleashing of a tidal wave of reactionary consciousness, such as we have not seen in this country since post-Falklands War in 1982, which Thatcher then used as the impetus she needed to wage her war against the unions, against the organised working class, and to implement the structural adjustment of the UK economy. This is not a good day for migrant workers. My thoughts are with them. The temperature has been raised